Hi, Leanne Donoghue-Tamplin here. A lot of the women that I work with talk about feeling stuck and trapped at different times in their lives. A real sense that it doesn't matter what I do, I can't seem to move forward. And this is quite common, I think, for women when they're juggling a number of different aspects of their lives, or when they've been focused on one aspect of their lives for a very long time. So that feeling is a really good one to have. If you pay attention to it, then that means that there's something you can do to change it. So the first step in dealing with this is to recognize that it's happening. One part about that, though, that recognition, is to be aware that it's temporary. Everything in life is temporary. It will change. That's one of the certainties of life. There will be change. So it won't always feel like this. And the more you can be the agent of that change, the better outcome you can have. Secondly, the second thing you need to do is then, once you recognize that this is what's happening, then you look at the situation, really explore what it is about the situation, firstly, that feels right. What is there in my current situation that feels good, that I'm quite okay with? So then you can, after that, pull out what are the things that don't feel right? What are the things that I'm unhappy with? It's frequently not everything. When you feel stuck and trapped, it can feel like everything's terrible. So that process of pulling out what's good and what's not so good is a really important process. So once you've got an idea of what's not working, it's that area that you need to focus on to create change. So start looking at that as, if I was to change this and to make me feel better, what would I need to do to it? What needs to be different in those aspects to make me feel better about my current situation? Once you have that stuff, then it's a step towards, now I make a plan to make it happen. It can be tricky to do that analysis process and work out what's good, what's not good, and then to identify what do I need to incorporate to make it change. And one way of doing that is to be creative. So using just a blank piece of paper with no lines on it, and then using pens or textures or crayons that are coloured, and just writing words on there about how you feel about different aspects. I've got this part, I've got this part, and you'll notice that you start choosing colours and things that reflect how you feel about those different components. Being creative, some people will do other things like paint or other types of drawings. That creative strategy really allows you to get down to the little bits that you might ignore if you just try and write, say, a list of things. So really let yourself trial a few different things to work out what it is that you want to change in your life. So when you're writing your plan, or you're working towards this plan to make change, keep looking for the opportunities and the possibilities in your situation. When you have a blanket statement that says, I'm stuck and trapped and everything's bad, you filter out everything that's good. So once you start knowing there are some things that are good, I'm going to work on changing these parts, then start looking for how you can do that, the opportunities around you that you might have been closed off to before. And I used to have a great basketball coach that would say to me when I missed 10 shots, just keep shooting. You're getting closer to getting them in, even if you're missing, because you're getting closer to getting them in. I think that's a really important motto in some way to keep behind you when you're doing something else, when you're trying to make change in your life. But it doesn't matter if I make mistakes. Every mistake I make is getting me closer to where I really want to be. So it's actually good to be making the mistakes. Okay, thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you again soon.